Awareness of not just your own behavior, but how others are behaving when you're communicating with just a person or a few people is extremely important. My name is Erica Mangione, and I will be covering the concept of mindfulness. In our notes, and according to Sam, mindfulness is defined as the awareness of one's own behavior and that of others. For example, I've mentioned a few times that I'm a MiraCosta ambassador, and one of the parts of being an ambassador is giving tours. So last semester, Jed, who is one of the counselors, asked me to give a tour to his Counseling 101 class, and so I gladly accepted. And a couple days before, when I was preparing for this tour, I kind of was thinking about what I wanted to say, how I wanted to say it, what I was going to talk about, and I made a mental note to see how the students were reacting to certain areas of what I was speaking about. So on the day of the tour, I was talking about classes that we offered at MiraCosta, or things like the student activities office where you could start your own club or become involved in a club. I showed them the admissions office, and one of the things I noticed was I talked about the physical attributes of the school. So like I talked about the trees or the seats and benches that kind of look like trees. I told the students that those were actually made by other community college students, and they reacted positively to that. So they kind of like nodded and they were like, oh, that's interesting. Or they asked more questions about it. They just kind of showed involvement into that certain section of my tour. So in the connection to this, I used mindfulness because I was not just aware of what I was saying and what I was speaking about, but I was also aware of how the other students were reacting. So I made a note before I went into that tour that I was going to look and see how students were reacting to certain parts of my tour, so that next time I could use that for the tour and kind of go into more depth about it. So to be a competent communicator, you really need to be able to not only be aware of your own behavior, but that of others as well. Thank you.